Hey there, welcome to Root for Cycle 2. I'm going to try to be quick on this one. Number one, for our hinge, we're going to be doing a bucket lift. So 2 weights or 1 weight, both are acceptable. And the key here is we're going to be using 2 legs though. So if I have two weights, don't be afraid of squatting underneath to start from the standing position. If this position means I have to bend over at my back, then don't start your reps here. Get underneath it, drop your butt down, straighten up, and then start here tall, and then do your hinges. Hinges do not need to touch the ground. Another option would be to put some blocks underneath it so the weights start up a little bit higher so you don't have to overstretch in order to start your sets. But you should be able to lift a lot more weight with this lift than with a single leg because you have 2 legs underneath you. Now, if it feels better for you to have weights on the inside, that is fine. Just make your stance just wide enough to keep the weights inside of your feet. And then make sure you come all the way up to a full stand at the top. Totally fine if that works a little bit better for you. Try it both ways and see what you prefer. Okay, next one. 1-arm archer lift, archer push-up. So this is a 1-arm push-up. And the 1 arm is an emphasis. So I'm going to do this putting my other hand out to the side. Works best if both fingers kind of turn out a little bit instead of forward. So let them turn out. And then I'm going to sit down onto 1 arm and then come back up. So if I'm spread out nice and wide, I got my feet, my knees nice and wide, then I can do the same push-up from the same stance. So for your root workout though, you're going to emphasize doing this all on one side. First, only go down to where you can control your way up. It doesn't have to be all the way down to the ground. So from the side, fingers turning out. I'm going to do my left side, brace up my abs, sink down, straight back to the middle. So I'm going to kind of move diagonally straight back to the middle. Again, only come down as far as you feel like you can do the reps. And as always, a great way to finish a set is to do a really slow negative at the end of your full reps, your up and down reps. Great way to get some extra strength work in after you've been fatigued from the regular work. So that's 1-arm archers. Reps are on both sides. Next one is a single leg rack squat. So here we're going to carry our weight in the rack position, strong abs, and depending on how far back I put my leg, I can make this more squat focused. So here I'm doing a lot more pushing with my quads and my knees, or if I want to slide back farther, I can make this more hip focused by sliding my foot back and driving through my heel. So that's up to you. Reps are on both sides. Abs strong, spine long. Next one is a face pull. So let's do this with a weight here first. I really like face pulls with weights. I'm going to do this from a square stance so that I can get a nice cross-body reach and get a good lat stretch in the middle here. When I do my face pull, I keep my elbow winging out, not pulling into my side, but rather winging way out, even to the point where notice how my palm is facing away from my head and from my face. I'm bracing up. I'm keeping my spine long though, from the side. Of course, if I do it this way, reps on both sides, you can hang both weights and do them this way. It may be more challenging to keep your core braced and your spine long and the weight shifted back into your hips. So if that's the case, feel free to just do one at a time. The other option would be to do a hanging version. And here I'm using rings, same deal. I'm trying to get my hands over my shoulder. So it's like the top position of this, whether it's here or here. Top position is like, you're making a bicep flex, like a bodybuilder. This is the top position of your face pull. And if you're having a hard time kind of finding it, doing a couple of just self-resisting movements like this, feeling your scaps and your shoulder blades pull together in the back is a nice way to feel the muscles working. Okay, seated scissors. So these are gonna be the bane of my core exercises this cycle. Just because it's not the best for best exercise selection for me, but I did it for you. Strong abs. I'm seated. I can brace up with my hands if I need, and then my scissors are crossing legs over this way. Now I'm doing a very small range of movement just to keep my hips protected, but feel free to open things up as much as you have control and strength to. So don't truncate it just because that's what I'm doing. I need to do that for myself right now. You do not need to do that. If you feel like you can hold this seated position, this V position, with hands off of the ground, great. You can do this with hands off the ground. This can also be done holding onto a weight if you want even more strength tension. It'll challenge your upper body a little bit more. Emphasis here is a lot more hip flexor though. Core and hip flexors, they all connect. Next one. Here we got a couple things going on too. Reverse hammer. So this is the reverse hammer hold, and this is the reverse hammer lift. So notice that my thumb's up here, pinky's down, close to the center. What I'm gonna do is do a single leg sweep in the front, and then I'm gonna do a hammer lift. Notice that there's two actions. There's the hand and finger action, and then a little row. And then I'm gonna sweep back around to the other side, same thing. Row, back to the front, lift, row, release, back to the back, lift, row, release. So I'm working on a couple of things, multi-dimensional here. We have a lot of core activation. We have some cross-body diagonals, oblique slings going on, and then we have a lot of hand, wrist, and a little extra pulling. So there's all kinds of business going in that. Take your time to find it. The reps are every time you row. So you're gonna switch your stance, this little single leg stance. You're gonna switch that one, but the row stays the same. Totally fine, especially if the leg's in front, to be more upright, and if the leg's behind, to be a little bit more bent over. That's gonna be a natural position based on just changing the shape of your lower body. Last one, 3 holds toe press. Hold number 1 is gonna be overhead. This can be with 1 bell and 2 hands, or 2 bells. Tuck your tailbone, so no arching. Tuck your tailbone, align everything, and then I do my 10 reps, squeezing out that top position. Hold number 1, overhead. Hold number 2. Again, this can be done with 1 weight as well. Rack, abs strong, connected. Don't arch. 10 reps, and then lastly, 10 reps in the carry position, or low carry position. There you have it. All right, we're working on rolls, which we did a little bit in breath to kind of warm ourselves up for this. My first goal in the roll category is to get everyone comfortable rolling back to the upside down position. So step 1 of this, remember, is just to feel like you can get into an inverted shoulder stand and then get out of it. Step 1. Step 2 is beginning to do the backward rolls over my shoulder, not over my head. And you have 2 sides, and then forward rolls. So some people learn the backward rolls faster. Some people do the front ones faster. It doesn't matter. But once you have all 4 rolls, then I want you to have your roll into a ready stance. So you have 2 ready stances. You have all 4s face up, or crab, and you have all 4s face down, or quad. These are the 2 transition stances that I want you to get into. So if I'm going back roll, I'm going to finish in this stance. If I'm going into a forward roll, I'm going to finish in this stance. And then if I want to switch over, which one? I got to do a little switch and roll, and a switch and a roll. So I just want you to get into that stance And then if you can get all four of your rolls and link them together and kind of figure out how to make your transitions, there's a couple of different ways to do it. That's ultimately my goal for you, is to make that feel really easy to go all those different shoulder rolls. Forward both sides, backwards both sides, and being able to at least be ready to stand up or to crawl or to move, but get into a stance, a ready stance. So that's our skill that we're working on. Range. So we're going to do splits, front splits. We did straddle, so now we're going forward. My goal for you is not to get a full split. This isn't an appropriate goal for everybody. Much easier, it's harder to get, but much easier to get in the straddle, honestly, regardless of body type and hip type. This one isn't available for all hips, so don't make that a goal. But do make the goal of getting more comfortable in a split stance. One leg going one direction, other leg going the other. Here's how we're gonna set it up. You're gonna start in a lunge and then straighten out the front leg. I'm gonna alternate between doing a forward fold, putting the stretch into my hamstring, and then pulling back and doing tailbone tuck and stretching my hip flexor. So forward fold, I might find a little more space, and then come back up, and I emphasize the hip on the back leg. Back and forth. So here are my reps. Notice I made a little more space. Strong abs as I come up. And then after my 10 reps, and I might stop moving the rear leg, then I'm going to hang out here and do some active reps, squeezing the active hip and the hamstring, hip extensor. As I'm doing my tension and release, I might find a little bit more space, and I might not. Either way, we'll do our reps moving in and out, and then we'll do our active reps in the final position. And then last one, prone scap lift. So we got 3 different scap lifts. Tailbone tucked, abs engaged. We come straight up overhead. This is the prone position. Lifting straight up. Then we come out to the side. My thumbs are pointing forward. Squeeze together. And then at a Y or a V shape. And here my thumbs will be down. So I'll do all my reps on both, or in each of these. And then my final reps are going to be circling and holding that max end range nice and slow as I pass through the 3 different positions. If you find any sticky points there, you can do a little extra hold. And yeah, that's it. So that's root. Right on time too. We'll see you soon. Thank you.